I'm still cafe.
Jiena Marlin Xikluna nagħtikom merħba fil-programm Maltese DownUnder, programm bi produzzjoni kollha kemm mill-belt ta' Melbourne. Grazzi li għażiltu li terġgħu tingħaqdu magħna. Lan tal-programm tagħna huwa li jservi ta' ispirazzjoni għalina l-koll u infatti il-programm li għandna mħejji għalikom illum żgur li ser iservi dan il-għan. Illum ser nlaqgħukom ma' boxer, ma' inventur u ma' intraprenditur. L-ewwel taqsima tagħna llum ser toħodna f'gym tal-boxing fejn ser iltaqgħu ma' Joel CaMilleri li kull ma jmur qed jagħmel isem fiċ-ċirkwitu tal-boxing.
Just growing up as a kid, I always loved, doing a bit of boxing and fighting in the garage with a few mates, and always wanted to get into a sport that was an individual sport, a bit more independent. And after playing some soccer and basketball, I just went down to the gym once with a few mates who did some kickboxing and got into kickboxing, and from there just went to a boxing gym and fell in love with boxing.
How many years now have you been sort of doing it at this level?
Well, I'm turning 27. I started at 16, so about 11 years now, yeah.
11 years. And over that time, I know that your mum's a boxing photographer. How was it having your mum on the sidelines, sort of like encouraging you and also photographing there? What sort of help or hindrance did that give you?
Actually, when I was younger, she was the one who kind of got me into a bit of karate and whatever else. So my fighting came from my mum, not my dad.
Yeah.
It's great having her on the sidelines taking my photos. Since I started boxing, she's been there from day one, same as my dad. But yeah, mum's been there since day one. It's not easy watching your son get punched in the face, and I can't imagine one day having my son getting punched in the face.
So you've been doing it for around about 11 years, and I imagine that as every year goes by, you step it up a little bit more. What was probably the first bout that you did that kind of really turned you on to, I want to do this and seek it out much more professionally?
Well, I had 16 amateur fights, won 2 state titles, and then I had my first professional fight, and it was just a new game, it was a new sport. Had the nerves, my heart was beating, and my first pro fight really kind of made me realise that this is real. And then from there, my 5th pro fight, I fought on Fox Sports. It was live on national TV around Australia, and I'm a confident kind of person, but when those cameras came on me walking out, seeing the big Fox Sports logo on the cameras, that made me know it was real. And thankfully, I got a 3rd round knockout that day.
Wow.
And that made me kind of realise that, no, this is real, and I really want to take this sport pretty far.
Yeah. So from that moment on, you've kind of just continued steadily along the way. Where are you sort of hoping, you had a quite big fight a few days ago, if I'm correct, and where are you kind of like hoping to get to with everything, with your...
I had a fight 2 days ago. I had a pretty good fight. I won by 1st round knockout, so it was a good performance by me. I've climbed to number 8 in Australia and top 160 in the world, so just one fight at a time. I'm hoping to keep progressing. My aim this year was to get top 5 in Australia, so I'm number 8 right now. I never won the state title as a pro, and even though I think I'm past that stage, I want to go back, win the state title, and then I'm hoping to win the Australian title by the end of the year. It's kind of national bragging rights, and just to have that Australian belt around my waist is something I've always dreamed of. So I won the Australian title, and then hopefully one day we'll fight for a world title.
Yeah, wow. So as you're sort of becoming more focused on certain things, what amount of training would be involved, like in a week? How much training is involved for you?
As a boxer, it's not like any other sport. We put in anywhere from 8 to 12 sessions in a week, and that consists of from fitness work to conditioning to boxing technique, sparring, even recovery sessions. If you want to add in recovery sessions, I'd say I do anywhere from 12 to 15 sessions in 1 week. So, 7 days in a week, you're doing at least 2 sessions a day, and that's along with, I'm a part-time school teacher as well, and everything else you're doing with your friends. So it's it's a full-time commitment.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you're a part-time school teacher. Do the kids know that you're kind of doing boxing as well? Do they know what your other life is outside of teaching?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to kind of hide that I'm a boxer with his nose, goes to about a right angle. So as soon as I walk into the class, I had a few little kids. Kids are so honest, and I think my first class I walked into, one of the kids is like, "Sir, why is your nose going that way?" And I'm like, you have to obviously tell them I'm a boxer. Also, a lot of my friends, nieces and nephews and younger brothers and sisters go to some of the schools, so they all know I'm a boxer. I walk into school with, cuts and band-aids and, stitches, bruises, so I think every single teacher and student at the school knows I'm a boxer, so it does help them knowing, yeah.
So how much of it, when you're actually there on game day, how much of that performance is instinct and how much of it is preparation?
Well, the instinct comes from preparation. So everyone's got the fighter instinct first of all, which you're kind of either born or not born with. But my trainer says, you don't do 1,000 things one time, you do one thing 1,000 times. And when I do those things 1,000 times to 10,000 times, it becomes instinctive. It's a natural thing. So once you get in that ring, you're not going to bring anything out in the ring that you haven't practiced 1,000 times. So it's just a natural thing. When the guy's throwing punches at me, my reaction is what I've done in training. My punches I throw is what I've worked on in training. So it's a bit of both, yeah.
Yeah, preparation and hard work, I suppose.
100%, yeah.
From your 11 years, what would be one of the highlights from all the matches that you've been, all the bouts, that you've kind of been involved in?
As I mentioned before, I'd say the Fox Sports fight. I got a knockout on the Fox Sports fight, which is great. I fought Channel 9, I fought 3 times Fox Sports and one main event at the High Sense Arena on Anthony Mundine undercard, which was a very big fight too. So yeah, there's some moments in my career that I always remember.
Yeah. See, these are the sort of things I love. So, you do these really localised sort of fights and then you have these opportunities to do these really, really large ones. What is that week like for you?
I'm in a zone. My mind, as I said, it's mentally draining. So the last week, I just want to be around the people of my boxing team. I don't want to be around anyone else. Even like when I'm with my family, I'm in a zone, I'm daydreaming, I'm just thinking about the fight. I like to live the last week, kind of like every day, but at the same time, I've got my mind focused on the fight. It is crazy. At the start, it was hard to sleep the last couple of nights, but now I've had 34 fights all up from amateur to professional, 16 and 18.
Yeah.
So I get used to it now. I sleep well, but at the same time, that last week, it's just, your mind's really set on that fight and what's ahead. 5 years' time, I hope to have a world title around my waist, be fighting internationally and defending my world title, who knows, hopefully in Vegas one day, I'd like to thank all the people who have supported me throughout my career from the age of, 16, 17 when I started, to our friends, fans, family, and also to my sponsors who have jumped on board, taking all this time off work to focus on my boxing. It's a hard job. You're not making big money as a boxer in Australia, so to all my sponsors out there, I'd like to thank you all. I couldn't do it without you. Thanks heaps.